something captured me, and I know this is like cliche and cheesy, but she was like my main thing and main like motivation. She like I dreamt about her and stuff. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode on the Eli and Twoey show. Today we're going to be talking about me and Twoey's friendship, how we met, and some tips for you to create new friends.
Yes, and let's get into it. Why don't we?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's cue the intro.
Do it. Oh. All right, so now back from the intro. Let's start off this episode by talking about how we met. So, Tui, do you want to lead that story, and then I'll talk a little more also?
Yeah. So it was the beginning of third grade. We had this class like PLTW and stuff, and we and I wanted to make a new friend, and I saw Eli. He looked pretty cool, so I went like over and like wanted to be his partner, and we ended up being partners in PLTW. I don't remember much, but I remember we were in different classes, but our classes were like right next to each other, and we used to play like I think it was he used to play soccer a lot at lunch, but I think he
Also, football.
but then he transitioned to football later in the year, and I don't remember the PLTW thing. I think at first you were a little
Yeah.
iffy about it. You wanted to be with like your other friends, but it was pretty cool. We started off on like a really good foot, and he just came from San Francisco, so he was kind of like a new kid. So I wanted to be like the person who like was a good friend and someone he could go to.
Yeah, and everything Tui said was right. Yeah, PLTW is basically like engineering. So we probably had a project and we grouped together. And I had just moved from San Francisco, third grade. So that was my first year in a new school. And I was a bit held back at first, like Tui said, a bit cautious, I think, because San Francisco, I had a little problems with my friends and stuff like that. But yeah, Tui reached out and that was great. In the beginning, I was still a bit held back, which is pretty sad because we could have been friends like faster. And a tip for you guys is when someone comes and kind of is open to being a friendship, always try and improve that friendship and kind of build on the friendship first. Because if you later on see that it's a toxic friendship, then you can stop. But working with that is always going to be to your benefit and the person who is reaching out to your benefit, and you guys can become friends. And right now we're almost finished with sixth grade and we're still friends to probably talk every day. So it can really improve from that one reaching out in a project in an engineering class in third grade. So always keep that in mind.
Yeah, and even if like your friend, like let's say they moved back to California. So that's what happened with one of my sister's friends. She went to California and she talks to her like every like few weeks. So you can keep that friendship going even if it's like long distance. It's like that connection you have between like the other person.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that me and Tui's connection is very special, and I wouldn't want it to be hurt. But like 3 years ago, I would not think that. I would think like, oh yeah, sure, I'll be with him in this project. But look at where it's become. So always kind of try and be open, even if you're a bit shy, even if you're in a new school, even if like you already have new friends. Try and be open. Unless of course like it's a toxic or like one person is mean to the other. I always try and stay away from those types of friendship and never be shy to say like this has to stop. But if it's not a toxic, just roll with it, and be yourself. Be yourself.
Yeah, definitely be yourself. So you want to talk about fourth grade, Eli?
Yeah. So moving on to fourth grade, me and Tui, we're already starting to bond as good friends. I think fourth grade though is where we really started kind of talking on Google Hangouts and stuff, and then like playing constantly like in recess together. I think fourth grade really developed us together, like both of our minds, and then kind of our friendship came along with it. um, I don't really remember fourth grade that much. Does anything like? I think we started also hanging out a lot more,
Yeah.
and just being more open to our feelings to each other. Now, this is something that's really important in a friendship. In the beginning, of course, you're not going to go and spill like everything, all of your emotions, to somebody. But if you've already known someone for a year, half a year, you think that you can trust them, you think that they are not toxic, good and friendly, then it's really important to be open to them. Like, and me and Tui have had fights, quite a
Yeah.
few, and have had our differences, and this is okay. It's
Hmm.
okay. Every friends have fights, because if you just let your emotions sit there, it's just gonna explode one day, and that might risk ruining your friendship. So always be open, good or bad feelings.
Yes, I'm piggybacking off what Eli just said. As friends, you're gonna have fights. If you're if you're in a good relationship, then good relationships have fights. If you guys fight all the time, then maybe you guys need a little help. But
Yeah,
you're gonna have your occasional fights. You're
yeah,
gonna have the differences, but the differences is what like keeps the friendship together. Because no one has a perfect friendship.
right.
It might be perfect in your eyes, but there's flaws to everything.
Yeah,
So you
and I
just have to accept like the differences and use that to like to make your friendship better.
and if you have no fights, that means you're being sometimes not open to your friend, because you're not the exact same person as your friend. So you're going to have differences. You're going to like this, you're going to like that, you're going to have your own opinions on this, on that, and that means that once you disagree on something, you might have a fight out of it. But if you don't disagree on anything, it means you're not being open, and it's really healthy to be open. Because backing on what we said previously, you have to always be yourself. A few times, I tried, specifically this time with a girl, to just impress her all the time and like be there only for her. It wasn't just also for me. It was to be for her, to be with her. She was like the angel and stuff. And this made our friendship and my kind of crush on her not work, because I was not being myself. I was being something that would seem to work for her. And so you always have to be yourself. And if you don't fit with someone, that means okay, don't be their friend, or like you can't fit with their friend. But not being yourself is always going to turn out to be a toxic relationship, or someone might just like your own self, and if you're someone else, if you're acting like someone else, they're never going to get to know your real self, and you might not make many friends because you're being somebody else.
Yeah, that's really well spoken. We'll talk more like about that when we get to fifth grade. But I have a
Yeah.
couple more things about fourth grade. In fourth grade, I think that's where when we really started to see like basketball, like our basketball talents and stuff. Like
Yeah.
us and our group of friends, we just like started playing basketball more, even though like football was the sport at school. We
Yeah.
The fourth graders versus the third graders. I think fourth grade was my prime because ooh we used to beat them hard, and if
Yeah.
yeah, that
And
was super
most of your
fun.
viewers are not from Angel Elementary School, which is where we went.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, but there's a big rivalry, and kind of in sports, it's all about sports. You go to recess, or at least with me and my kind of group of friends, um, previous friends, we would just like hang together. We went everywhere, like with sports together, basketball, football. Sometimes we even played like soccer and handball and stuff. And it was just kind of loyalty was a big part of it, but it's not exactly loyalty. Just being with your pack, like a wolf pack, and just charging together, fighting together. You get into a fight, everyone backs everyone up, everyone protects everyone up, and I think this was a really important part in like me and Twoey's bonding, and also our bonding in the like with the rest of the group, because in third grade, like I used to play football with Tui and then the rest of the group, but I didn't have like a big bonding with the rest of the group because it was not really a loyal thing. It was like playing football. We were the youngest people in our recess, but while getting older, we developed that sense of loyalty and being together, and I think that really developed our friendship also.
Yeah, and the thing is, we were in the same class in
Yeah,
fourth grade,
fourth grade and
and
fifth grade.
yeah, fourth grade and fifth grade. So on that note, let's move on to fifth grade. I'll talk about fifth
Ooh,
grade this time.
ooh, my
Fifth
goodness.
grade, fifth grade. We were like we gotta level up. We gotta be like a really good in the class. We gotta level up our friendship, and
Yeah.
that's what happened. We played football at recess and stuff, but we started hanging out like a lot more. It was like
Yeah. It was
really
more
good.
about me and you, I think, than just that
Yes.
group in Angel. I think we looked at it a lot before fifth grade as, yeah, we're all a group, but we were still a group, but it was like just more me and you. Then let's contact each other. Yeah, let's like hang
Yeah.
out and stuff.
Yeah, and we hung out a lot, and those hangouts were they were really fun.
Very fun, yeah.
Yeah, boxing in the basement.
Oh, yeah. Hit them up. Hit them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think athletics is a big part of our friendship, or not of our friendship, but like of the subjects that we talk about, and like how we interact sometimes, or like most times, or a lot of times, like we play sports together, we talk about sports together, and um I think it's really important to have athletics together, and develop that sense of loyalty like we talked about. But as many of you probably experienced, around March 2020, we were all kicked out, or not really kicked out, but sent out of schools. Now, it was called a 3-week break at the time. Imagine that. Um, and we went onto Google Meet and online. Now, at first, none of us really took it seriously, right? And this part was when the time like we used to like hang out and talk every single day, Zoom every single day, like rap together every single day. And this time was when stuff with other people, the other group, became better, and then at one time became worse. So do you want to talk about that?
We'll talk about that, but let's talk like more in school fifth
Yeah.
grade. So in school fifth grade, Eli said he got in like trouble. Like so, he said like an outrageous number. What number was it again?
I went to the principal's office 4 times in a month.
I don't think he.
It's
I think
true.
that's
It's true.
inflated.
It's
Maybe it's true,
true.
maybe it's not. But we played our sports at recess. Like yeah, like you said, like a lot of our friendship is based around sports because we're both like athletic people. We really like
Yeah.
sports, but we started like us and our friend groups kind of started to transition to basketball and
Right. And
yes.
our competition with the when we were in fifth grade with the fourth graders, it was like every single time we played, there was some like yelling and fights broken out, and we didn't realize we were playing people younger than us. We realized we were playing people, and we had to fight and we had to beat them, and that's lit. Like it was really competitive, and I think it was a great time for us.
Yeah, that was just the competitive fire, and us, and we played basketball in our school's gym a lot, but
Yeah.
of course they had to make a schedule that prevented us from playing there every day, so we had to play out in the snow. We're in Michigan, so it's cold,
Yeah,
but
but we
we still
Michiganders are
managed.
tough.
Yeah, we still managed, but
Yeah.
in like the fall that year, we like it's Michigan football time, so we played a lot of football too. And this is where Eli's like girl stuff came up.
Okay. So you give your perspective on that, and then I'll give mine.
Okay.
Oh, look, someone's in the background.
Hey Leo, you want to say hello to our viewers?
Hi.
All right, that's Twoey's brother, his little
Hello.
brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start my own YouTube channel in like a few months.
All right,
But
when
my
he starts
brother
it,
Twoey is gonna help me.
All right.
And my YouTube channel is gonna be called Leah.
Okay. So keep that in your brains, guys. Leo, remember that.
okay. So give your perspective on the girl situation, and beware, guys. This is like the first of our, the first and probably the only
Wait.
t-
Do not that notification bell for this for
subscribe
other
with
videos.
notifications.
Yeah.
So this girl situation with me and Tooey was our first and I think our only time where we totally like separated, and it really, really damaged our friendship in that time. And I think we were both in not good or mostly me in a toxic and bad situation. So give your or opinion or side of that, Tooey.
So this was like my opinion. I was like playing like football or basketball with all my friends, and like Eli was over there just like playing with this girl, and at first I'm like okay, he's just like shooting a shot trying to make a good impression, but like over time it's like is he gonna play with that with us, cuz our friend group is like really tight. We have a couple girls in there, but it's like nothing really romantic. It's
Yeah.
just like it's like we're bros and stuff.
Yeah.
But when we're like playing sports, he just like keeps playing with the girls. So like I talk to him and I'm like, yo, like what's up? And then he just like tells me what's up, and he stayed friend with her for like
A big
most
time.
yeah, for most of that school year.
And
It
after.
was
And
yeah,
after it, like
yeah,
when we
and
got locked
after.
out.
Yeah, and after the school year, but it's like it's fine that they're like just friends, because the year before I had a bit of a crush on her, the same girl, but
She
I
has the
still
most drama in all of the schools. She had a
yeah
boyfriend who she broke up with. Then she kind of became with Tooey, kind of, not really,
yeah.
for like a few days. And then like her
But of
dad
course I
died.
still yeah
Her dad died like in second when she was in second grade. So like I think many people were like all the time, oh my guys, I'm so sorry, and followed her because of that. um and this
yeah
made her like a really popular girl and stuff. And I never really started taking notice of her or having a crush on her until like until in the middle of the drama of like her having a boyfriend. I started looking at her, and that was when like Tooey and her kind of like had a fight or something, I forget. And then I looked at her and she's like, don't look at her, she's terrible. And like but that was the moment I thought she was really, really pretty. And like I didn't confess like my feelings to the group until fifth grade. What I just said was in fourth grade. And that really bubbled up inside me, and I think I just wanted to let go and be with her. But this meant I sacrificed all of my time for her, like looking at my emails, doing all that, and deleting or like removing my time with that group and with Tooey. So I think Tui was really hurt with that, right? Of her.
Yeah, yeah. And when I had like a little crush on her, I still play with like my friends. I didn't totally.
Yeah,
I couldn't make that commitment. It was like a few days, and I'm like, nah.
yeah,
She's not it. I'm not. No, I'm just like nah. Sports only.
yeah.
But like, yeah,
And
I was kind of hurt about Eli, but I get what he's going through. I can't stop him from making friends. So let's see your perspective on the things in fifth grade.
yeah. So I think this happened relatively like in the middle of the year or closer to the end, like past half the year. And I think we were coming off such a great year. And our group was not just sports. Like we talked so much,
Yeah.
everyone, and I think we all had a good connection. And one of our friends from the group had kind of like the same situation as I did in fourth grade, where she just hung out with them for a real while. So I really understand how Tui felt because it was the same way I felt when that happened. But it was like something captured me, and I know this is like cliche and cheesy, but she was like my main thing and main like motivation. She like I dreamt about her and stuff. So I think having met her made me kind of like a clone and me kind of a tool for her to like, and I was shaped around her. I made like my schedule like around her. So like for example, I think like once I had like something with Tui, she said, "Yeah, you want to hang out." So I canceled it with Tui and did that. And I think this showed that I really didn't care about me and Tui's friendships, which was totally not true. But I didn't realize what damage what I was making um, until I didn't have a lot of friends, and Tui was the one sticking up for me, and Tui was the one with me. And now I realize I won't sacrifice our friendship for anything. And I think a tip for you is if you have an amazing friend, don't just forget about them. You need to talk with them, you need to hang out with them, and you need to realize that they're the ones who are going to be with you no matter what if they're a good friend. But the one who supposedly is like your love and something, she's just your love because you just met her, right? So abandoning your friendship is not a good solution to that.
Yeah, yeah. That was a
was
lot.
Yeah. So
So
let's
let's move to like the middle of the summer, like we just graduated from fifth grade, about to move on to middle school. And
Yeah.
this is about like some drama, so like strap in.
And this part was really tough for me. And Tui showed how good of a friend he is and how he's gonna stick around for me and how he really cares about me and I really care about him. So Tui, from your memory, can you tell them what happened and then I'll tell them from my perspective.
So what happened? I don't live in Ann Arbor, so I can't really like hang out with them every day. So I don't really know all the details. But what I know is the day that I did go to Ann Arbor, we went over to our friend's house. All our friends in the group were there. We were like chilling and stuff. And then there was like a boxing match, and it was Eli against someone that
We'll
really
name him
disliked.
Bob. We'll say Bob. His
Yeah,
name.
Bob dislikes Eli. It's not Eli's not his favorite person.
Yeah,
So they
but
started
this
boxing.
but this I sorry, I'll interrupt you for a
Yeah.
second. This dislike did not come from this day. He hasn't really liked me since like third grade or something. And he's admitted it before. So sorry.
Yeah, so they just like started boxing and stuff. Like two of our friends were on his side, and one and I was Eli's trainer. You could say, and like they were boxing. It was a pretty good match. Like nothing really got heated until I think Eli. Well, I think there was like a decision made and they had Sam winning, and we thought that Eli won. That it was rigged in my point of view, and probably in Eli's also. We thought it was rigged. So Eli, he was sad about like the loss. He thought that he should have won. So we just went home, and then they started calling him a crybaby, and that's where like things kind of
And
turned
I
for the
did
worse.
say some hurtful things before that happened and after. Um I made some mistakes before. I didn't realize they were really mean. And this I think made them really mad, include also building up on me being like a sore loser, or just sad about my loss and going home. And this is all fine. And I really understood at that time. Like, I had a really big talk with them. I apologized multiple times to every single one, even the ones that I didn't particularly physically or like verbally hurt, and they did not accept it. And that's okay. They didn't have to be my friends, and I totally understood it. And at this point, Tui was kind of trying to bring us all together, which was really not working. It just sparked up kind of more hatred. A few of these uh, moments were kind of also had some drama in them. I won't go through all of them. And and then Tui kind of realized it was not going to happen. That we will be friends now. At this point, they are. We'll name Bob especially. Another person, kind of. They are commenting like on my videos, hate speech and stuff, and um, half bullying me. Um, and this got me pretty sad. I had a bad time, and Tui always stuck in with me, and I'm really happy. Right now, they still hang out with Tui, and I think everything was okay, right?
Yeah, we had yeah, and like all the and I felt like I was stuck in the middle when I was trying to bring them together, and then I'm like, okay, they can't what do you call it? They can't get over their differences, so
Yeah.
what's the point? So then it was like the other day, like last week or something, um we were riding to like the house, and there some one of like my friend's houses, not particular Eli's, we'll call it Eli's companion. Like I don't really know what the word is. Someone Eli knows but isn't really a friend with. Someone, yeah. So then we like bike to his house. Bob is there, and we just start playing basketball and stuff, and old it feels like old times.
Yeah.
There was someone missing though. That's normally like in the sports thing though, but I saw like a bunch of happiness on Eli's face, and it just like made me happy that like everyone that like kind of separated away kind of got
Yeah.
over their differences
Yeah.
and were able to just like play with each other without
Yeah.
any conflict.
And I think that moment was really fun and really confused me. Because all this time they hadn't talked to me, had been particularly mean to me, and all of a sudden, when Tui came to my house, they were all nice. So I wondered if they were just nice to me because of me, or it was just a coincidence, or it was because Tui was there and they just respected Tui and were kind to me.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So let's get some tip. Let's like have a couple quick tips on like how to be a good like friend and well that that's what just a couple great tips in a friendship.
yeah. So how about we each give a few tips?
Yeah.
So and we can all obviously agree or disagree.
Yes.
My first tip is always to be accepting. Someone
Yes.
can be a different skin color, someone can be have different opinions, political views, or just different opinions, and you always have to be accepting. Um in those people. Don't be racist. Don't be negative. And also be accepting if your friend or person that you know makes a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone can be mean sometimes. Really everyone can make mistakes. So not accepting is a way of showing that, like, okay, yeah, like one time and you're done. So it's not a real friendship. Always be accepting. Always be kind and make them feel welcome. Um, make them feel like a real friend. Friendship is not a one-way street. Also for you. So if like your friend is not being nice to you and you're like giving all your time to them, then that's not a good friendship. But if they're being really nice to you, giving you, and you're not doing anything, you're not being kind, you're not doing anything, that is a one-way street. Sorry, and that's a toxic relationship, and that's not a way to behave to any person, especially someone who's supposed to be your friend. All right, now Tui, you can say your stuff.
Yeah. Another tip is be there for your friend. Like over last summer in 2020, I lost my grandmother, and like all my friends were there for me, and that made me feel like really happy that they actually
Yeah.
cared about me. And
Yeah.
like in like your best times and in your worst times, always be there for your friends, because they'll really appreciate it. Because
Yeah.
if they have someone to go to, then like that's great, because not everyone has that. But if you have a friend that you know, if you go to, they'll be there for you. That's just like a great thing to have.
Right. Right. Yeah. And when you're in a tough time, either you or your friend, if it's you, you're gonna want your friend to be there. And if your friend is in a hard time, you have to be there for your friend and so your friend can see that he can trust you, and that shows the dynamic relationship that you really care, like Tui said. And I know I'm repeating, but I just really agree with what Tui said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
So on that note, this was a great talk with you, Eli.
I really
I feel
enjoyed
like
it.
this was a great episode. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel.
Oh
Of
yeah.
course, turn on those notifications and comment down below what you really liked about this, because this was a little bit different. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you did.
I did really.
Yeah, so
And comment also down below if you've ever experienced, or if you have a great friend there, and if you've ever experienced something that we talked about in this video and how you dealt with it, because we're really interested. We'll read and reply to all of your comments. And with that said, Tui, you want to say something last, or are we good?
yes, I really enjoyed sharing these stories and the story of our friendship and these tips with you. And see you next episode.
Let's see you, baby. Bye.